Hey guys, Katie here with Phil Level Leftovers. Day 3 in our 30-day challenge. Woo, crazy hair. And yeah, we got to do a little bit of chores today. Half the day is actually already gone because we went to church late and or to the later service. So we just got home, just had lunch. I had leftover pesto chicken from last night, and then kids had chicken nuggets. This morning I got up and made pancakes because we did not have anything else. But the one big task on the one big task on our to-do list today is getting the rest of our chicken moved into the house freezer so I can use this for pastries. At the end of the month I do have a bakery thing, a community days that I'm part of. So I need to get all the chicken out of here, do a little bit of a wipe down, and then we can use this for pastries that we prep during the month. All right, everything taken out. Just gonna give this a little bit of a wipe down. All right, so we've got all of our chicken moved to the main freezer, main meat freezer. I still have another freezer that has venison and a little bit of lamb left in it, but this houses all of our chicken and pork right now. So you know, in the coming videos, we're going to be processing a lot of this chicken. And my stockpile shelves are starting to look a little on the bare side. Got quite a few holes when it comes to maple syrup. Even our pasta that was supposed to last 6 months. It's August. It's not December. Clearly we've been relying on that a little too heavy. So we're going to get some canned chicken on these shelves pretty soon and go through some of these other things that we had gotten from some of our grocery hauls in the past few months. I do have loads and loads of potatoes, so that's something we are set on for a bit. And I do have some coconut milk. And I also have a few things of home canned items. Actually, that might be our honey. I was going to say not the honey, but I think that might be our honey and we just reused a jar. But I do have some green beans. I do need to use these artichoke hearts. I do have a plan for them. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Ooh, and I knew I had some apple pie spice peaches. So that is on the menu plan for this week. Then I have some peach whiskey jam, 3 of those. That's going to be a must-have. What else do I have over here? I only have a couple of green beans. Ooh. Another thing of chicken stock that needs to get moved with its partners now that we have some room. And there are the paper plates that I asked my children for this morning that they could not find. Suspicious. Okay, and here are pancakes that I made. Yes, a little burnt. Yesterday was a bit crazy, but this is all that's left, and these are going to be gone within a moment. Hey friends, Katie here with the Level Leftovers. Thanks for hanging out with me today. We are on a roll with our challenge that I'm self-imposed challenge that I'm doing to record every day and give you updates and show you what we're eating, show you what we're doing as a mom to a large family and a mom to a bunch of special need, whether it be, you know, educationally or medically, special need kids. So one of the updates, you guys know that we had taken off the TV. We got rid of all of our screens, and that went okay, with the exception of one big thing. So let me show you the end result. So long and the short of it is TV's back on the wall. So TV is back on the wall, as you see, and my autistic son has been bolting a lot, which we had curbed that like over the past few years. He still bolts sometimes at school, but he's, it's a pretty safe and monitored environment there. So, like, he doesn't get far. He just kind of runs from the classroom. Well, since we got rid of the TV, there have been multiple attempts here at home that he has bolted and has either, like, I mean, he's quick. So, like, from the moment I see him bolting out the kitchen window to getting outside, he's out in the woods already. Well, yesterday there was a bolting incident at our church, and so I had to go out and get him. They're just, let's be real, not many churches are well equipped for our special needs kids in these areas. They lack the training, they lack the staff, the volunteers, and it's nothing against them. It's just, these are hard kids. So he bolted there, and I had to go get him. He then became very physically and emotionally aggressive towards me. And, we had an escalation issue. We get home, de-escalate, something happens, he has to get reprimanded, escalation again, and then he bolted again. And thankfully my husband was right behind him, but he did end up going half a mile, 3/4 of a mile down the road. My husband was right with him. He was safe the entire time, but we kind of let this play out and just kept him safe. So when they came home, we put the TV back on the wall because we're realizing that this is being used in part for stimming for him, and as much as we want to limit that, he needs the ability to stim. And so we haven't found or haven't figured out a way to do both, to both limit the screen time and to allow it for stimming purposes, because he needs to have things that are like approved stimming and then things that are like earned rewards. And it's, this is our first time parenting an autistic child, so this is hard for us to learn. We're learning, we're doing our best, and it's also really hard as a parent to multiple kids to say one child can do something and another child can't, and be able to explain how that's fair when it clearly doesn't look fair to them, right? So, been a rough few weeks, rough couple days. We did find that, hey, we can do it, and ideally we'll figure out a way to do it again, because everyone else did much better without screens. We have screens shut off right now. People are playing. I think we're gonna go swimming later. So so there will be some happiness there and whatnot. But so yeah, it's just been a learning experience, and I welcome any tips, tricks, ideas down in the comments, and positive ones. Help me out here. Well, we made it to our local lake today. So the kids are having some fun and swimming. I try not to show them. But yes, all the toys are in there. Yeah. And for the record, our box of goodies here has worked. I didn't spill anything the whole trek down here. I know, super flattering angle, but we're here and I had some thoughts. Eli, don't lick that. No. Don't do that. Huh? Only throwing. Yeah, only throwing the rocks, no licking them. Here I am about to have a serious conversation with you all. Oh, doesn't that not just define life with a large family? a life with an autistic child, like, I literally just got done crying. I don't cry very often. I definitely come from an upbringing of, like, stuff down your emotions, conceal, don't feel, you know, and I found myself going to Belfast, Maine, a week ago, and with the intent of going to the ocean, because that feels like my safe place. That's where I tend to connect on a deeper level with God, and really just get that one-on-one time and be in a place that I love and feel safe, in order to have kind of this emotional breakdown in a safe space, you know what I mean? And I really didn't get that. I got to spend some time instead with my sister, which was amazing, and this is all coming out in a video soon. I've got to get it edited. There's so much footage, much more than like these one day videos, but so I spent some time with my sister. We did a lot of exploring. Like, it was a really good time, definitely needed, just not what I thought I was going there for. And so today we're sitting here at the lake, and it's just us. My kids are playing so well together. They're doing so good. It's like a relatively hot day, but it's not like sweltering. There's a light breeze. It's pretty smoky from all the wildfires, but anyhow, besides the point. So I'm sitting here and trying to do some YouTube research, talking with one of my friends about like where to go with YouTube, what these videos are about, what my channel is about, like just business stuff. Like, okay, I can sit in my chair and do business things while they're being safe and playing and I have eyes on them. And then I started just like really tearing up, crying, still trying to hold it together a bit because people can come at any point, but I'm feeling that heartache that I expected, over a week ago. I feel it bubbling to the surface now, and part of that is because we have had such a hard time lately with my autistic son, and my biggest goal, as I tell all of my kids, is that our biggest goal as parents, our biggest, we have to keep them safe. Like, God has entrusted them to us, and our duty as their parents, above all else, above their happiness, above their education, above anything else, is to keep them safe. And so to have two children, to have one that's autistic and then one that has severe allergies to like environmental things and food things. So to feel like that's a natural daily struggle for me to keep them safe, outside of them just being children and rambunctious and doing crazy things that children do, it just is really weighing on me and has me really questioning, the day-to-day decisions and our day-to-day rhythms, and how do I do things like have a YouTube channel? How do I do things like work? How do I do things like homeschool? How do I do things like creating a meal that everyone will love? Like, those are, like, that aren't going to cause my child to run away. That isn't going to cause my child to go into anaphylactic shock. You know what I mean? Like, it's just all, and we're in a very big transition period right now. Transitioning from, like the past 10 years, I've been working a ton. I took some time off. My husband went full time. So now we are both trying to fulfill our needs and fill our cups by both of us working part-time to make a full-time income so that we can have more time with our kids and both be able to build the businesses that we love and do the things that we love to do. And so that transition is a lot. It's, like in one of my previous videos, I said he went to CDL school. So we went 3 weeks without a paycheck. Well, that's catching up to us now. I'm monetized here on YouTube, but you get paid once a month, and it's not like I'm getting thousands and millions of views, you know what I mean? So right now we're in a penny pinching season. We're in a growth season, and so I know more lies ahead, but it doesn't make it any less stressful for what reality in life is right now. And I'm just kind of coming to terms with there's not a whole lot we can do about it, which is frustrating because I'm very much a let's fix it type of a person. I'm busy. I want to find the solution, right? But this whole thing is stressful. Parenting is stressful. Parenting special need kiddos is very stressful. I've seen some posts on social media that say parenting a special needs child is the equivalent stress-wise, the amount of stress, the amount of cortisol, things like that, is equivalent to a man that's in war, like an active war zone. And while I don't think that's true all the time, though, I mean, I'm a veteran, so I know that an active war situation, I know how veterans be, okay? We can find the good in just about anything, and as well as the inappropriate. So, I mean, I guess maybe it's a bit true. So, like, I agree with it, but I don't. There are times, like yesterday, when my child is trying to run away, bolting down our driveway and down a busy road, and ends up walking a mile round trip. My husband was with him. But still, like, that's terrifying for a number of reasons. And trying to learn how to parent him is probably one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do. He just doesn't understand safety. We're trying to learn how to keep him de-escalated. So, like, yesterday, the best course of action was to follow him, keep him safe while he was having his meltdown. However, that means today he is thinking that it's okay for me to walk down the road because he went and walked down the road with Dad yesterday, and I said, no, you have to wait for Dad. You have to wait for Dad to do that. So it's such a balancing act. And, like, we live in the western mountains of Maine, okay? So, and we have 33 acres. So, like, yes, he could go walk on our property, but not all of our property is within eyesight. We don't have, like, built-in trails. And even if we did, like, he can't go out and walk that alone. And then I've got super little ones that I really can't be taking out there with me either and keep up at the same pace as him because he's quick. He is quick. So it's really just everything. Learning how to, and I know this is a lifelong thing, learning how to parent special need kiddos, learning how to keep them safe, learning how to manage a budget better, like learning how to build businesses. We're building 2 businesses at once, like probably not the best planning wise, but here we are. And just trusting God through it. So all that to say, if you are in a similar situation, there is hope, and may not know what it looks like and may not understand it, and it might feel like crap. But even though there's fear and there's like, what are we going to do and how is this going to work? there's really not much of a choice. Like, if our biggest goal is keeping our kids safe, then what does that look like? And for us, part of that looks like homeschooling. And if we're going to homeschool, what does that look like? That doesn't, for us, it doesn't look like one parent doing all of the homeschooling. For us, it's, you know, especially with the special needs kids, it's two parents working together to do it. So how do we make that work as our family? Like, how do we, it all kind of flows there, and we just have to trust that in due time it's all going to work itself out, and that we will find favor somewhere in it. Something has to work out. Something's got to go right. Something's got to click. Something's got to work. So, if you're in this season too, something at some point. Stop licking that. And then you have the joys of parenting an autistic child. Okay, we are back from the pond. And I am super hungry at this point. I had those eggs for breakfast, and then I had a couple pieces of pepperoni for lunch before we left, because that's what I could grab as we were going out the door. So now it's time to get dinner rolling. It's 3:30, so time to at least be thinking about what we're gonna have for dinner. And I opened our fridge, and yeah, there were some items that need to be used. I had to throw away a thing of green beans, and I hate throwing away food, so I am gonna make, there we go, gonna make some coleslaw, I think, from this cabbage. Because I don't want this to go to waste either. And I have some dill, and some of the dill looks like it is going bad, and I have a cucumber that's going bad. So I am going to do my best to incorporate all the things. Ooh, you know what I might do is make what I call an Aztec goddess or Mexican goddess. It's one of my favorite, like, the green goddess cabbage salad that was like really popular on TikTok for a while. I do a version of that, and I just call it Aztec because I use more Mexican ingredients, Mexican themed, inspired, traditional, however you want to politically correctly say it. And it's like a really good dip, but also I just eat it by the forkful. So I will probably have to, it's been a while since I've made it, so I will probably have to look it up and see, don't mind the kids, probably have to look up my recipe and see all the things included, because I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was cabbage, it was cucumber. This one we will add in some dill. I want to say there was basil, which I have some basil still from my mom. And that needs to get used up too, because pieces of that have started growing also. So I will do half of the cabbage like that. Now we will cut the good parts off of this cucumber. It's going to be a little less cucumber than what I would normally do. I think this is the only cucumber I have. Don't chop your fingers. Might be able to get a little more off of there. No, we won't push that. Okay. Got one couple onion left, so let's do that. Clearly that needs to be used up also. Got kind of our main ingredients here. Add in some salt, some pepper. Oh, I forgot, I gotta get the herbs. Just making a whole mess over here. We are going to juice some limes. I can get all the schmutz off. We really want some acid in this, so you could use vinegar, which I might still end up using some vinegar, but really want to try and make most of the acidity come from the limes, because if we're adding flavor, or if we have the opportunity to add flavor and not just zing, you know what I mean, then let's do that. And I have these limes that need to be used up anyhow. They're getting quite old. Hopefully they don't have that old bitter taste to them as it is. This is also going to help everything be super bright and fresh. We're going to add in a heaping spoonful of garlic. I'm going to add in one of these holy guacamole pouches. Turns out I don't like this brand as much as I like the Costco brand. So using this up and using it sparingly is what I'm trying to do. Alright, we're going to start tossing this. See where we get. Give it a couple taste tests, see what it needs. I feel like maybe we're going kind of the Mediterranean vibe with this. So maybe we'll add some olives. I think I have some feta or some blue cheese that we could add to it also. Just a light, fresh salad. All right, let's try this. That tastes good. Okay, since I have kind of a light, zingy salad going on, I think what I'm going to do with some chicken to pair with it is make it a little more savory. So I'm thinking, kind of see how this goes as I cook it. I'm looking for something quick because, like I said, I'm hungry I need to eat, and then I can think with a clear head so that I can prepare food for my kids, because most of them need something different, but they're all content in front of the TV right now. We just got back from swimming, so they're a bit on the tired side, which is okay. So I'm going to cut these. I was going to do fillets, but I think I'm just going to do cubes instead. Okay, so I've got all my chicken cubed up in here. Add in a little bit of oil, just kind of help make almost like a marinade. A little bit of garlic, or a lot of bit of garlic. Then I have, what did I just see in here? Fenugreek. Okay, fenugreek is a really great spice. It's actually an herb. And it has just some really savory notes to it, and it is also very good for you, like very, very good for you, especially if you are breastfeeding or recovering from pregnancy. Also going to add in just a little bit of turmeric. Can amp up those notes, and again, really healthy, really good for you. If you've never had golden milk before, maybe that's something I'll do tomorrow, because we're out of coffee, so I can show you golden milk. Adding chervil. Chervil is similar to parsley. And then I was going to add rosemary. I'm not going to. Maybe a little bit of thyme. Okay, those are some really savory flavors that we got going on that should balance well with that very bright and light salad that we have. So when we pair these, it's going to feel like a balanced meal, and it's going to taste like one too. Just thought I would show you a look at our backfield, our backyard. All of this like orange haziness, it's all smoke from those wildfires. It's just so sad when you think about it. And it's been like this for probably a week-ish. The color change has definitely been more so the past couple days. But anyhow, let's see if I can sneak in a sign off before these fools start barking up a storm. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I have my matcha latte in hand, my little afternoon pick-me-up, because I have hours worth of work ahead of me tonight for the other part of the foodie movement, which is the name of my actual business, BT Dubs. This is just like For the Love of Leftovers is like the blog part, the YouTube channel, things like that. But my actual, like, where I have clients and things like that, it's the Foodie Movement. So in case you were ever wondering, there you go. So I have a few clients that I have to do things for tonight. I have to do photos, videos, video editing, all the kinds of things. So hopefully my husband will be soon so I can run to the store and grab some props and whatnot and get to that. But you guys don't get to see any of that because NDAs and all that jazz. But thank you for hanging out with me as just me, just Katie, just mom, Mrs. Mom. I appreciate you hanging out with me and listening to me, and I look forward to chatting with you down in the comments. See you tomorrow. Bye.